Welcome to the RSG Play SWGOH livestream, sponsored by Wells Fargo. Coming to you live from the SWGOH display stand, aka Finity's Garage. And do we have a jam-packed presentation for you? We will be breaking promises to you about new game content, exclusive news, and showing you character abilities. All of that broken by your host, Ranger J 1999.
Hey, welcome back to another RSG 52 episode 1 year stream of streams. It's Wednesday night, it's 8 p.m. Eastern, so that means it's time to talk some Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and we have a ton to get to, and I can tell you guys right now that this is going to be some pretty intense stuff. You can see we put up on the top there a little mature audience thing because we're going to be going at it. There's a lot of things that need to be said, things that we are going to be saying, and I'm going to be starting it off, but I want to introduce the panel before we begin and do some of the housekeeping stuff before I begin my rant. This is going to be a Ranger J 1999 historical rant like you've never seen before, and there's a lot of stuff that we want to get into, but joining me on this journey is our great panel of crew that always join us, that represent the Star Wars community. First off, we got him out of prison. We're glad to have him here. Hopefully on good behavior he can stay here for a while, and that's Grande Patron, Brown Gandalf himself, the beardless one. Grande, what's up, brother?
What up, brother? Hey, man. Yeah, we're glad to be on the stream. We definitely got a lot going on. Already got super chat going on. Virtual gaming world. That's awesome, bro.
Yeah, speaking of that,
definitely appreciate.
Speaking of virtual gaming, he's on the stream tonight. Not only is he on the stream, but he donated $5. So VGW, right. What's going on, brother?
What's up? Sorry, I had to do it. It begins.
No, yeah, that's awesome.
So
man, it's a crazy times in this game, don't you think? Oh my goodness. Who else we got on with us, Ranger?
We've got the troll extraordinaire himself, Finity. Dr. Finn Medicine Woman will actually be speaking tonight. I know that's shocking to everybody else, but if you have questions and stuff, he'll still be collecting those. But Finn, what's going on, Dr. Finn Medicine Woman?
I'm curious to know what all these things are that are going on that you're about to rant about.
You liar! You know exactly. You're a filthy, lying bastard. So don't even pretend. Also joining us is the lightsaber extraordinaire builder himself, Mr. Sir Loki.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I just got home, so that's why I've been quiet. But
we know.
Listening to everybody.
That's right.
So I'm excited to get down and dirty with this stream. I mean, it's going to be interesting.
That's a mild way of putting it, Loki. So strap in because it's going to get ugly. Also joining us is the Dark Lord himself, Darth Smithy. Smithy, what's going on, brother?
I'm good, man. Ready to have a great stream, as always, on a Wednesday night for me. Pretty much Thursday morning here, but I feel wide awake. Let some energy drinks. I'm happy to rock with what we've got.
Oh, look at you rhyming. Get a rap record deal for you. Oh, we just got $10 from Eric S., my boy Eric S. from Diablo 3 and Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Appreciate you, man. We've been kind of busy, so we haven't been playing much Diablo. We are going to try to change that soon.
I do want to call out all of our viewers.
Go for it, brother. I know you have a special shout out you want to do for someone too, so go for it.
We do, yeah. So Bimatsu's Tier, Grim, Virtual Gaming World, Knights Templar. Let's see, MJ.
Oh boy, MJ.
Humble Maverick. Welcome. Glad you're on it. Luke Thyrocker. Awesome. My boy Shadow Val. Rocking the Dark Lord's profile pic right there. Nice, right, brother. Hiro Kumada. Nice to have you. Bad Rongo. KP69S. Welcome. Captain Blackbeard.
Arr!
John Knopf is here.
It's pronounced Knopf.
Let's see. Knopf. Okay. Smithy D, obviously, right in the chat. Good old Maurice.
Our boy,
Sinister. Lucas T.
You
here, Kenobi One.
Oh.
Good to have you here. Hiro Kamata. Good to have you here. Renato Saviriara. Sorry if I mispronounced that.
Butchering these names.
I know.
Keep going.
E. Walken.
Oh, E.
Ghost. Thanks. Justin Ward. Turbs. Turbs is my man. He asked for a big shout out. He said it's 2 a.m. and he's going to go to sleep. We wanted to make sure we got him in here.
Absolutely.
Tass Revin. Eric S. Magna Nihilist. That's pretty awesome. Let's see. Ben Lazarus. The Late Picks. Let's see if there's any of these that Jonathan Ray and Mr. Sir Loki. So thank you guys for typing in chat. We always love it. We always love to have you guys here, and we're glad you guys decided to join the conversation.
Yep, absolutely, and we appreciate everything. SWGOH just popped up, so we got.
So you want to go to the meta report?
No, I don't want to go to the goddamn meta report.
We have an agenda. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
The agenda's out the door. So let's also you guys saw the super chat function if you'd like to donate for the cause and continue supporting us with all your with all this great content. Then you can donate there, and you can also donate on the homepage of the YouTube. We've had some people donate there. We very much appreciate it. Real quick before I start going into my rant, you'll notice on the bottom there we usually like to display the people that have donated. We're having an issue with super chat showing the names of the people. We're still trying to figure that out. It's some kind of bug with YouTube. We're working on it, so we'll try to get your names up there when we can, but at least we'll shout out every time you do it. Virtual Gamer will give me
no intro for me.
We segued right into your monkey ass. What do you mean no intro? Speaking, I remember clearly, Grande. Tell me if I've lost my mind. I clearly remember saying, perfect segue. Speaking of the man himself, VGW is here.
Do you not see what's happening here? Every time you insult VGW, he does a super chat post for $5. So keep on insulting him.
All right, VGW's a cockmaster.
No. All I wanted to add in literally was the fact that I've been away from Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes on YouTube as I've started doing other things, but I've recently made a return.
Yeah, you and Mike Hunt have been doing some videos and stuff, right?
We have. I'm thinking of doing some videos on my own too and stuff, but I wanted to kind of slowly rebring myself back in.
Sorry, that was funny, man. Those words, that sentence.
That was worth it right there. I loved it. What? Not for me.
All right. So all the nice.
Somebody said they wanted a meta report. If you're under a rock, go look at the meta report. It hasn't changed in weeks, maybe even months. That's all I gotta say.
Triple cleanse, annihilate. There's your meta report. Nothing's changed
pretty much
from the previous couple ones that we've done. So if you really want it, we'll get to it afterwards in the Discord. We'll break it down for you. But I'm not going to report on something that hasn't changed in forever and is not going to be changing anytime soon. There's your meta report, sponsored by Wells Fargo. All right. Yes, it is a big cup. I'm trying to hydrate. I overdid my workout today, so I'm hurting bad. When you put 240 on the bar and do it a bunch of times and then try to do push-ups afterwards, I don't recommend it. I don't know what I was thinking, so I'm trying to hydrate like a mug. All right, so let's get into it. Yes, go ahead.
One thing really quick. Shadow did point out Grande missed a couple of people, so just shout out to Tony Richards and also a first-time watcher here, Dom Peter Loveface.
Hey, glad to have you guys. Yeah. Welcome. All the new people. We try to shout out as many people as we can, but it starts adding up. And then
we're trying to.
Yeah, if we miss it, just say something. We'll definitely do that. Now, I am not buying a packy walking, and you're going to know why here in a second. All right, let's get into this shit.
You want to start from the timeline beginning?
Yeah, I've got it. Yeah, I'm going to go from last week, and I'm going to go into all of this, okay? I'm going to start off with a caveat. Let's start with the stream, and then I'll get into some of the caveats. But this is going to be pretty brutal, okay? I'm going to try to keep it clean as best I can. But sometimes...
You don't have to. We have the mature language
hold
thing
on.
Up there.
That's right. But sometimes words need to be used to drive home a point, okay? Because it's important. And if I use certain language... The reason we cut back the language is because, someone had brought up that, kids watch this and stuff. And so we've really taken that seriously. That's why we put up the mature MA up there. Okay. So if you have kids that watch this, just be aware that we are going to get into some adult language. And we just want to give that out beforehand. So let's start with this because there's a lot to cover, and I really want to go into this stuff. First of all, let's get into what has transpired, and we're going to go from that point, and I'm going to go into a lot of things. We'll open up to everybody else, but my rant's going to go first because I just don't give a shit. Okay, I am not on CG's payroll. My whole purpose in life is the community. That is why we started this channel. My biggest and most pressing concern is new players that play the game, being involved with all the different aspects of this game, with all the community, helping people get better, trying to, get them in certain places. I'm very proud to be a part of Team Instinct and some of the things that they've done. Team Instinct has done some things in the past, like, helping people with Grab a Hero and some other things. And the thing about Team Instinct is that I've learned so much as being in that guild, but there's a lot of other great guilds that we're proud of. And that was the first thing we want to do with this community, is bring everybody from all the guilds. Whales, new players, it doesn't matter. And if you look at our Discord and our Q&A, that's our whole function. All right, so I'm coming from this as I am drawing a line in the sand with CG, and this is going to be kind of the mantra moving forward, because I'm drawing a line in the sand, and I'm going to be the one. If you want to hate me, hate me. I don't care. I really don't. Okay? So let's start off with last Wednesday. We got dropped the bomb. Well, we already kind of knew, because your marketing strategy of trying to keep it secret, as was brought out by Smithy and some other people. I mean, Finn found the image in like 5 seconds and posted something. We knew it was going to be Thrawn. We started debating, okay, how are they going to do this? So their first mistake, and I'm going to call this a mistake because they've made quite a few. And I'm hoping that the devs and other people are watching this. All right, and if you can't take constructive conflict critiques, then I don't know what to tell you. All right, because this is going to be that. All right, if your feelings get hurt, I don't give a shit. Okay, you need to hear this, and you need to hear real talk, and you need to hear people in perspective from people that pay real money for this goddamn game. All right. So first of all, we get dropped the bomb last Wednesday, and we were all shocked that we had to learn that we had to get Phoenix characters to do the Thrawn event. We were kind of stunned, but we took the approach that we're going to sit back and kind of see how this plays out. We didn't really say much. We were kind of talking about it in the Discord afterwards. There was a lot of upset feelings, but the pretty much the motto was, well, let's kind of see. There's EA Play coming up, and let's see what they say there. We knew we were going to have to get Phoenix characters, but we didn't really know much about the Legendary event or anything like that. We just knew that we had to get Phoenix, which in itself is a poor move. That's strike one, CG. You are forcing us to get awful characters to get a character from what I've seen is decent, but it's not worth all this headache by a long stretch of the imagination. So you're forcing us to get an okay, decent character by having to farm these 6 characters that are god awful. There's no way around it. Phoenix Squadron is executed poorly. Okay? Now, I know the devs have a tough job, and I give them mad credit. They do what they are able to do is pretty impressive. However, you signed up to be a developer, you signed up to be a moderator. And with that comes the other side of it. You have to get creamed. All right? So let's move on. So then we get the CG event. We go into
first we got double drops, right?
We got double drops. Yes, thank you. So we had double drops, not even knowing about anything about Grande. Whoever thought of that is lost their mind. One of the biggest complaints that I have with CG is their communication and lack of transparency. And the reason I say that is, yeah, they put out information, but sometimes they put out information and you shake your head. Now, I'll give you a background. My background is in business. I'm working on my MBA. Finn is a medical doctor working on his MBA. Grande owns a successful, highly successful company, so we understand business side of things. Looking at this as a business plan is baffling. It is completely baffling. Here, invest in these characters. They're going to give you some double jobs, but we're not going to tell you anything about what the reward is at the back end, but you need to do this. It doesn't even matter that you gave us no time whatsoever to farm these characters, let alone that they're garbage characters. That's strike 2. There's going to be a lot of strikes here. So CG, if you're listening, you need to pay attention. So your execution of your plan to bring these characters and then to help us get them, you drop the ball. There's no other way to put it nicely, is that you just drop the goddamn ball. Plain and simple. All right? So we go into that. Everybody's scrambling now, trying to get characters still in the unknown of what Thrawn is actually going to be. We're still waiting on bated breath. We're still a little bit hesitant. We're seeing some things we don't like, but we're like, well, let's see what they introduce at EA Play. Okay? So we get to EA Play. Now, first and foremost, CG, you need to realize something. We play this game because we're huge Star Wars fans, not because of the actual game itself. There are other games out there, but because it's Star Wars, that's why we play it. Because of the characters and the nostalgia and everything else that goes with it. Okay, so that's one thing you need to realize. Going into EA Play, I had some questions about some other games. Originally, we had talked about doing Battlefront 1, but Battlefront 1, they kind of dropped the ball and it was not executed. But I give them all the credit in the world. I was looking to see what they were going to present to us on. Some of the other EA games were great, and their presentations were beautifully done. The NBA one I thought was brilliant. But then we get into Battlefront. That was the first one coming up, and I'm in a channel with hundreds of thousands of people watching this. Okay, Battlefront comes up, and the majority of them were there for Battlefront. Right? What was EA's response going to be? They introduced John Boyega. They showed all the tweets, and that immediately gave me high hopes because that meant that they were listening. Then they showed how they had brought in all these beta testers, game changers, to not only test the game, but interact with the developers to make the game better. They then listened to all the tweets and everything else about the campaign and other things, and you looked at that game, and then they actually did live gameplay where you looked at it and were like, holy God, what have they done here? Now they're still working out some bugs, and there's some things here and there's no perfect game. But from everything I saw in Battlefront, I give them an A+. I give an A+ for their message. I give them an A+ for how they presented it. I give them an A+ for listening to the community and what they wanted. They talked about the pricing, how they weren't going to have DLCs that were going to cost all this extra money and stuff. They learned their lesson. And I give them everybody over there working on Battlefront 2, you guys are amazing.
That's the DICE group. The DICE group did a really good job.
I mean, everything about that impressed the hell out of me, okay? Then we get to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. And my question is, what in the holy hell was that? If I was a business leader and my presentation for my game was that, I would fire somebody. You had hundreds of thousands of people waiting to see what you were going to talk about. Not only just Thrawn, but you promised other things with it. And that's another issue I have. Your misleading advertising has got to stop. The fact that you show a trailer that has Luke Skywalker in it and he's not in it is wrong. It is absolutely wrong. You have new players looking at that. Luke Skywalker, one of the most popular characters in the game, or in the Star Wars universe, and you advertise it in a way that makes them think, I can get Luke Skywalker. Then they get in the game, and what do you think happens? Disappointment out the ass. All right, that's misleading. And it's wrong. And whoever came up with that should apologize. Because you've basically misled people who will try to pay money for this game on the premise that you can be Luke Skywalker when he's not in the game. You know what the big difference between Battlefront and Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? Their Luke Skywalker has a lightsaber. And you can play him. And Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes doesn't. Another strike. So then we get everybody out there in this, I don't know what you call it, dinky Connex. I mean, me and Grande had flashbacks of the military thinking, okay, they're using a Connex. Outside, with a small screen that has Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and then you have Cozy Spoon, and I can't remember the other two. I kind of lost immediately interest.
Not really a Jedi.
Yeah.
EA Jesse.
EA Jesse, thank you. And in that you talked about Thrawn, then you showed videos of Thrawn. Well, you showed 2 promos of the gameplay we've already seen before. Then you talked about Thrawn. Then you misled again because you said
graphics.
No graphics. You showed a little bit of gameplay where Thrawn gave his ability to someone. They used it. Then they died. And then it wasn't even it was maddening.
First order TIE pilot.
Right.
Yeah.
So then you have this statement that the community is excited about Thrawn. I don't know what community you guys talk to, but we talk to everybody in the community. And I can tell you they are not excited about this because you kind of let out the main part where about the whole Phoenix thing. Forget about that. People are excited about Thrawn. How could they be excited about Thrawn when they didn't know anything about him? And you talked a little bit about some of his stuff. You showed some things and then that was it. That was your whole thing at one of the biggest venues in the world. Not only was it insulting to people like myself and others who have paid a small fortune in this game, I have spent a metric ton of money on this game promoting your product. Grande has spent even more
than a metric ton.
Let's just say he's put a couple of your kids through college. All right. We're talking thousands of dollars in your game. And you guys are making a profit. You know, we did a rough estimate. We don't have exact numbers from your financials, but you're making $54 million a year, and that's the most you could afford. You know, that's insulting to us. You know, that's your message to us is, you know, what? We can spend all this money to support your game, but you can't spend a few extra dollars to make your presentation a little bit better and keep your word that you're going to talk about some of the other things like gameplay and other things that was advertised. That's what you advertise. I'm not making this shit up. You put that out there. It's not like Ranger said, oh, they should do this as well. They didn't do it. I was disappointed. I'm disappointed because you said you were going to do something and you didn't do it. You know, and for us that have supported you through thick and thin, that's a slap in the face. Plain and simple. It's a slap in the face that you're forcing us to farm Phoenix. It's a slap in the face. It just goes down the line. Okay? I don't know who designed this. Maybe something happened. You guys got bumped. Something happened. Great. But the fact that you don't say that or apologize tells me you lack humility, which is a crazy thing to say, but you have no humility. You guys have shit twisted. You think we are here for you, where it's the other way around. We pay your salary, and I take that shit. I may not take myself seriously. I mean, I pee my pants on stream. But I take protecting the community and their hard-earned money. These are people that work hard for what they have. And they buy into the prospect of your game. And listen, we give you guys credit where credit's due. We've done it on the stream. Proofs in the pudding. Go back, watch the streams. But if you just want yes men to push your shit, this is the wrong stream to do it. Because I'm going to call you out on your bullshit when I see it. This is bullshit. And I will be that line in the sand that will tell people, do not buy the Thrawn pack. Do not worry about getting Thrawn. He looks okay, he looks decent, but he is not worth the effort, especially for new players. As a new player, you see Thrawn from the Rebels TV series. You come into the game. Guess what? You can't have him unless you spend a fortune to get the characters. What the hell kind of business model do you guys have? That's the question I want to know. Who the hell do you people think we are? And if you think I'm going to come in here and just pimp your shit to pimp it, you're sadly mistaken. I care about the people that watch this stream. I care about them. They're my priority. You are not my priority. And I would be goddamn if I'm going to steer them in a direction for what? For a character that's going to be okay? Here's a comparison. Battlefront 2. Do I spend a couple $100 getting Thrawn with all the gear and stuff that's going to be needed, which we're going to get into? Or should I just say for Battlefront? Let's compare the two and what we get for it. For Battlefront, you pay a certain price. Now, you may need a PlayStation, but then look at what you get with Battlefront. Better ship content, better heroes, better battles, more maps, more to do. Now, I know you're a mobile app device, and that's your forte, but we haven't had new content in forever. We've had a bunch of new characters. And what, we're supposed to be happy about that? You think this is the way that you're going to get more money out of us? What do you think, we're just going to keep forking money over because, you know, you think we're stupid? I've never been more appalled in my life, and I was embarrassed. You know, you want me to come on here and say, check out what EA said or CG said at EA? You're on crack! I'm not going to defend that. And I'm definitely not going to steer players to your Thrawn event. Now, people are allowed to make their own decision. If they want to, they can buy all the stuff that they want. I'm encouraging them not to. I'm going to tell you how bad it is. Me and Grande, as I previously said, has spent a fortune. I've done it on the stream. I have opened tons of packs, pimped your stuff. That ends today. As of today, we are going to be moving to a Battlefront 2 platform because I'm going to get more money for my bang for my buck than this. Not that we're not going to start. We're still going to be doing Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. We're still going to be streaming. I'm not investing another dime. You have demonstrated that you don't give a shit. And if you don't give a shit, why should I? Why should I continue to spend hundreds of dollars? Why should I tell the other whales that I know to keep doing it too? I'm pretty much talked to all of them. They agree it's fucking stupid. It's outrageous. And I don't know what you're trying to accomplish. I mean, it is seriously jacked up. And you're probably looking at me, and I don't really care what you think of me. I care about what people think of me that I respect. But if you're not going to respect me with the content that you're going to put out, then why should I respect you back? You know, we've asked devs to come on this channel. Not one dev has ever come on this channel. Why? Because we speak our mind? Because we actually say what we feel? Because we express our thoughts and opinions, and when that doesn't meet the standard of you guys, you know, kissing your ass, if that's your problem, that's your problem. You know, I've been in the business world. I've graduated Army Ranger School. Talk about being humbled. Go watch a video of what that entails. They try to kill your ass there. You know, being a great leader, there's a great saying. First, you have to learn to be a follower before you can be a leader. You know, having humility is the most important thing, where you can take the ass chewing, even when shit's not your fault. And I think you guys have lost sight of that. If all you look at us, and this is what the community thinks, they're outraged at this event. They are pissed off. They view it as a money-grabbing scheme. And you know what? So do I. You know, what, Rebels didn't work out the way you want, so you're going to force us to get a character that a lot of people like by forcing us to use Rebels and farm them and spend money? That's your business model? I could think of 100 different other ways you could be making more money in a more effective way that makes the community happy. But don't sit there for 1 second think that if I have to choose between the community and these people that I talk to every day and learn about their families and everything like that and where they work and what they do and know them on a first name basis and actually give a shit about them as people and appreciate and understand the hard work that they go through. I mean, as far as I'm concerned with these Flash events, you guys have no concept of the fact that these people have real jobs. Your Wells have real jobs. We have real things that we have to do during the day. It's not playing your damn game. We love to play your game. We would love to invest in your...
We need to do it on our timetable, not on your timetable.
Exactly. You know, I don't know who... it's just absolutely appalling. It really is. You know, so my message to the community the only way that you're going to get them to say anything, I mean, first of all, you need to work on your communication. I don't know why. Business 101, basic communications understanding is that face-to-face is the number one way you can communicate your message. Why do you think my mug's on the screen? Why? Because I think I'm handsome. I'm an ugly piece of shit. But people can see me. They can see me talking to them. I don't know why you don't have any of your people doing the same thing. Maybe people won't like the message or not. That's not the point, but they can relate. They see a person on there, and conveying the message instead of putting it on some forum is not the way to go about doing it. It's one of the worst ways to do it. The written word can be interpreted all the way, but if I'm talking to you as a real human being, that's where you see it. I mean, these are little things. There's little things you can be doing where you could be teasing upcoming events and not be so goddamn secretive about this shit. We're going to get into that too. There is a ton of ways that you guys could be doing things better. I don't know who's telling you to do it this way, but you are losing your community. You're losing us with the shit that you're doing. And I don't know how to put it in a nicer a way that it will make you understand. Maybe you watch this and you're like, Ranger's lost his goddamn mind again. What the hell does he know? I actually know quite a lot. I know how to conduct. I've worked with companies like Comcast and Time Warner and other places like that. I know how success is had, and I know how failure happens. It starts with communication. It understand your community. It understand these are real people that pay real money and treated them as such. And it's a respect thing. And you're not doing any of that. And if you think for 1 minute, I'm going to come here on this stream, which we do for free, we come here pimping your crap. If you make a decision between you and the community, I will pick the community every time. And you can kiss my ass. And if that hurts your feelings, then you need to go back and look at yourself. Because if you can't take an ass chewing, then you shouldn't be in the position you're in anyway. Now, I know my language is inappropriate for a professional business setting. We ain't in a professional business setting. I'm not your employee and you're not my employer. I know how to conduct myself in a professional manner. Hell, I taught people how to be professional. This is not the setting for that. This is a wake-up call. Your game's going to go down the toilet really fast. Plain and simple. Wake up. We're tired of this shit. If this is the best you can do, then y'all need to wake up. This is garbage. Straight up garbage. And I'll debate anybody, anytime about this subject, and you will lose. I will destroy you. These are real world people. Start treating them as such, that have real money, that they have to take care of families and have jobs. Your money grubbing schemes make me sick. So that's my rant. You can take it or leave it. You can sit there and give me all the dislikes you want. I don't care. But not everybody has a stream, and not everybody can voice that. I will be that voice that you need to hear. And if you think this is just a small contingent, you better be sadly mistaken. We represent a ton of your players. And the reason they listen to us is because we actually give a shit about them. And they know we care about them. And that's the most important thing. Yeah, making money is important. You are a business. You have to make money. But there are more appropriate ways and better ways you could be doing it. This is not it. And you're going to lose out, and you're going to lose your game, and then what are you going to have? We are disgusted. We are dissatisfied. I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed in you, CG. Now that's my rant, but we got some more people that want to say something. Don't take just my shit. Don't take my word for it. Grande, go ahead.
Oh man, I think it basically boils down to poor communication.
That's an understatement. I don't know if it's the year.
Down to poor communication. And it boils down to and I think that goes all the way back to the devs trying to hold things secret, maybe, because they're looking for some kind of a wow factor by bringing things out and by like dropping hints. And I think that they're trying to communicate on too many different platforms. They have the official forums. They should be making that communication on the official forums, and not be making it, and not be having surrogates make it on a different platform, so that you're having to like wait for an obscure like wink wink, hint hint, nudge nudge from someplace. If I was to look at it, I would love to see a dev post on the official forums daily about what they're working on, daily about what they're addressing, and a progress report. And I feel like that it should also go the other way, that there is a daily progress report that's given about how the community feels to the developers, and not just, oh yeah, everything's going great. Because I really feel like there's something broken with the communication between those two groups.
Well, I mean, simple stuff. Come on a stream, say things. You don't have to be specific. These are the things we're working on. Hint, hint, tease, tease. You don't have to get into specifics. Maybe something's not working. Or you could say, this is something we are going to try to launch, but this is where it's at. I mean, God in heaven, that would cause just so much happiness. But they don't do that.
And I feel like that whenever you don't warn people and give them enough time, you're left, the player is left with only three choices really, right? So the player is left with spending a bunch of money in order to be prepared. Maybe not. The second choice is just to ignore the new content that's being brought out, or the third choice is to quit. And I feel like that they're not, by not letting the player be able to prepare for the new event, or for the new upcoming content, or for the new character, that they're not giving them other options, which are to basically put in and bring this back to a microtransaction type environment where they can put in small amounts of money to do it. I feel like too, it's not just the EA Play event that's the problem. It goes into fact that the flash events were broken, and you weren't allowed to use your chopper, and so because you weren't allowed to use your chopper, then rather than actually fix the bug in the flash event, they just reworded the way the event wrote.
Oh my
and
God.
I feel like that was very poor choice in what they were doing, and that they should have said that it was actually communicated better, and they should have tested better. I feel like so you've got poor performance in pop-ups, you have poor communication on the forums, you have poor communication, you have overhyped live stream event, you fail at the live stream event, then we go 3 days without a post from the devs on the forums. You have nothing as far as an apology. You have no rework to the flash events. So you got 5 or 10 things in a very short period of time that were very, very poor. And what it is it's a culmination of the problems that happened before. And I got to tell you, we're done with new characters. We're done.
Oh my
We're done.
God.
You done took us from 60 to 120 in less than a year. I think we're done. We don't need any more new characters.
Except for Jedi Luke, you gotta let him in.
Yeah. Okay, one new character. That's it, right? But I don't need anything else.
I'm Revan too.
Yes.
but we've gone.
I was hoping for Jar Jar.
We've gone 8 months. We have gone 8 months without new content. 8 months. We have gone without new content. And then somebody says something somewhere on some obscure thing, and somehow that's the reason why we don't get new content. I think you're pulling my chain. In the real world where I work, if somebody broke into my office and took photos of what we're working on and gave them to the customer, I'd still go back the next day and I'd say, oh, hey, by the way, I know somebody like photos of the stuff I'm working on here in our office, but guess what? I'm still going to ask you to pay me for my work. I don't care that somebody else stole it and gave it to you. I'm still going to ask for it. And by the way, I'm still going to deliver on time. I feel like it's excuse after excuse, and it's like back channel stuff. And we have got to get it where stuff comes in on the official forums and communication goes both ways. And it's not this, oh, hey, that's a bug. And oh, hey, yeah, we know it's a bug, but we're just going to reword the description. So, yeah, you really do need this. It's said specifically 5 out of 6 characters. And now you're saying, no, it's really the 5, and we'll give you the 6th one. We'll just let you use ours for the 6th one. You already have us logging in for 162 minutes a day. You don't need to create flash events so that we're logging in for an additional 8 or 12 or 10 minutes at some other time. You done milked that cow. You done milked the character cow all the way done. Why don't you try milking the content cow for about 6 months and bring out new content every month? You know what? If you brought out new content and I was not prepared, by all means, I would spend it. Spend the money on the new content. And by the way, we need to give you a definition of what content is. A character is not content.
No.
A new marquee event or a new legendary event that comes out once every month or once every 2 months is not new content. New content is a new gaming mode. Which, by the way, I understand. If we read your little pop-ups, your little pop-ups that you put in the game, you put pop-ups in the game. The pop-ups in the game said, tune in for an exclusive character reveal plus news on upcoming events. You only gave us one event and gameplay content. Are you going to tell me that the Thrawn event that happens in the event section that is a legendary event is new content? If that's how you're going to stretch the truth, I feel like that is a very poor choice. You had EA Games, you had DICE, and those other companies that play those games. They put up amazing presentations. And it wasn't just about speaking to existing players. You could easily have used that. I mean, there was 200,000 people watching that event. You had a golden opportunity to try to get players that are playing Battlefront 2 that happen to be high wealth individuals. They happen to be on-the-go individuals. Mm-hmm. They happen to be people who maybe only have a mobile device who are like, man, I love Battlefront, but I don't have a PlayStation. I don't have a computer. I don't have an Xbox. But hey, here's this other cool that I can play on my mobile device. You lost that golden opportunity. And I don't want to, we could talk about all along, well, the problem was they changed our stuff, or the problem was, they EA moved our stuff around or whatever. Dude, we create a podcast that we put up that Ranger Infinity worked very hard on. And you know what? Crap changes in a minute, and Infinity will be back in the back making a new video, and Ranger will be downloading something so that he can put it up and show right away. We do it on the fly. We do it on the fly all the time. And if 3 dudes with full-time jobs and part-time jobs and have wife and kids, and we do this just because we like it as a hobby, can make it happen, it is inexcusable that you guys cannot put together a better production than what looks like 3 dudes talking on a back parking lot with 0 graphics. And I get it. Well, tomorrow the Game Changers. You know what happened with the Game Changers? I love those guys. They're great people.
They're amazing. We're friends with all of them
here on this channel today. But they were not set up for success. And that's and whose fault is that? Is that their fault? Or is that somebody else's fault? They're there. They're trying to spin it as best they can. And I got to tell you, they were not set up for success.
Oh, no.
They had problems. They were only given a limited amount of time. They were told they had to put up something super quick. I feel like that was a very poor choice. That was stuff that was in your control. Then to come back, we didn't get a post about, hey, stuff. Damage control at this point, guys. Damage control. We didn't get a post on the forums about, hey, we know things kind of didn't go the way we wanted them to. We're going to make a big, huge write-up about what we meant to say but didn't happen the right way or whatever, you know? We didn't get, oh, hey, I know we had 3 in-game pop-ups or 2 in-game pop-ups for you guys to watch this thing, and it kind of didn't go the way we wanted to. So guess what? Here's 25 shards for every Phoenix character to kind of help you along the way, because we realized stuff didn't quite go the way we planned it to. Thing like that. You gave out before
Luke.
Before the Luke event, you gave out 50 shards of Luke. I get it, but then here comes the Phoenix event and mistakes from EA and mistakes from CG and no response to the player base. We're sitting here talking about, we're all here talking about the high-end player. We haven't even talked about the player who just opened the game or 2 months old.
We can go into depth.
2 months old. They can't even participate in this content. They can't even do the very first level of the Thrawn event,
not unless they spend money.
Get 25 shards towards Thrawn. Or people who opened up, who saw it on the live stream, and on the live stream they saw, oh, sweet, cool. I get to open up Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and in 2 weeks I'll get Thrawn, or I'll at least be on my way to progression to getting Thrawn.
Or
they didn't get, they did not get. They're going to get 0 progression. So all these new players who want to start playing, close it and delete it, because we did not cater to trying to get them to become part of the community, because we didn't get them to get excited about some of these new characters. I get it. You made them farmable in every one of the stores. I get it. But you didn't. But some of those stores don't open up till level 60 or level 22. We're trying to get a player hooked. We're trying to get a player happy. We're trying to get them excited about some kind of progression. They've got nothing. They got nothing. 100,000 people watching the live stream. Perfect candidates for new players of this game. And we dropped a freaking ball. And then we didn't apologize on the forums. The game changers. And then we didn't fix the bug that's in the flash events. When's it going to stop? When are we going to start? When are we going to start making some good choices instead of some bad choices?
I don't know.
I'm done.
Yeah, gotcha. Finn, I know you got some thoughts, man. I want you in on this shit. So, Finn, the floor is yours, man. We're going to give everybody an opportunity because I think CG needs to hear this shit. Finn, you have some interesting thoughts, and I want you to convey them.
You both are so angry.
Trin, you're such a damn troll. You were angry too. Don't even play, bitch.
So yesterday, I have to admit, I was super, super pissed. But overnight, I kind of thought about it. And actually, this whole situation has made me somewhat happy. And it's kind of happy in a twisted kind of way. So let's go back and look at some of the things that have happened over the past 2 months. So for months now, they've been advertising Jedi Luke in the promo, right? And who ends up staying and who ends up getting screwed because of it? The people that end up staying are the people that were already playing this game, have already invested a lot in this game. Who gets screwed? The new players that download this game and see that Jedi Luke is not available, and then realize that the game was basically a giant tease. Then let's look at the Phoenix Squad. The Phoenix Squad sucked. Okay, let's just be honest. The Phoenix Squad sucked. Now they're being forced on you for the Thrawn event, right? Who does that really benefit? It benefits people that have invested a lot of money in this game that can afford to get the Phoenix Squad up. Or those that are free to play that are really high up and are able to get arena crystals and be able to do all the refreshes in order to get the characters to unlock Thrawn. The newer players, because they may not have even gotten the Phoenix characters to 3 stars if they joined after that Phoenix, which was weeks ago. And you also have people that can't afford to do all of the Cantina refreshes that are needed for Hera and Ezra, since they're sharing the same source, right? So now the new kind of newish, not high arena ranking free-to-play players get screwed. Go to the Flash event. Flash events, first off, are stupid concept. But if you look at what CG has marketed, so if you go online and you Google Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes and you look on the content and what are the different things that come up for it, almost every single one of them has some kind of promotion about the fact that EA Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes has the most playtime per player of any mobile game. And they advertise what Grande was saying earlier, 162 hours, or 162 minutes per day each player is spending. All these flash events do is promote those people that are basically glued to their phones all day and spending money, don't care about the normal player, and no casual player is really able to do that flash event. I'm not a casual player, and I missed all last on the 12th. I missed every single flash event because I had work meetings, right? So they're basically screwing over anyone that's not addicted to their phone, and you lose out on a lot. Then let's look at the whole Thrawn event. Now, people have been bringing up the fact that Emperor Palpatine and Yoda were also given on short notice, but they were with characters that had at least 10 characters in the game, and 6 of which were free to play. And they were all there for a long time. And if that event came up and you didn't have the characters, the only player you had to blame was yourself. You can't blame EA for making an event with that squad because those characters are available. You just didn't farm them. Think about how different the situation would have been if they didn't change the cadence. Phoenix Squad to come out at the end of June, and then they promoted that Thrawn was coming out at the end of July. They said that they changed the cadence for a specific reason. If that specific reason was EA Play, that was a massive, massive fail. But if they had another reason, they still haven't told us what the reason was for why they changed the cadence for Phoenix and Thrawn. But if they kept everything the way it was, I don't think there would have been a single issue with the way that they rolled it out. That Phoenix came out at the end of June. You could have farmed it for over a month on event, and then if you didn't farm them, that was on you. They could have easily avoided this whole situation, but they changed the cadence for no reason. Then let's go to the bug fix before I get to EA Play. So the bug fix is the biggest slap in the face of anything that they've done so far. So there is a post by, I believe it was CG Top Hat, that said that they know that it's a bug and they're working on a fix. And then a few days later, they came out and said, well, we see that it's a fix. We see that it's a bug, and we're going to fix it by changing the text. How does this help? This helps basically no one, but it doesn't affect anyone that's already paid to get Sabine beyond 5-star, beyond 6-star. Because if you don't have it, free-to-play players are not really likely to get 5-star Sabine. And that means that you're not going to get those 3 Zetas. If you look at the overall kind of, I guess, order of things that they did happened at before the announcement of this text change happened. So when the double drops were going on, the only thing that was really heard was, oh, well, on that fix. So people may not have invested in Sabine thinking, based on everything that they had read about the Flash event, that they might not have needed Sabine as high, and they could have done the last tier and without Sabine, but then they got screwed. And who's benefiting? Nobody's really benefiting. Who doesn't get hurt? People that have already invested money. Who gets screwed? The new players and any free-to-play players. Then we go to EA Play, the great, great EA Play, where they had a captive audience of over 200,000 on YouTube. And what do you think the majority of the people there are playing Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? You have a large audience now of people around the world in the stadium there at EA Play on YouTube. Well, honestly, a lot of them were spamming porn on the YouTube chat. Yeah. But if you look at what the audience was at EA Play, they lost a golden opportunity to attract new players. You had so many people watching EA Play, watching what each of the different games did. We didn't play Battlefront beforehand, but we saw Battlefront and said, oh my God, that game looks awesome. We want to play it. Why didn't CG do the same thing with Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? You have to think about it in either one or two ways. One, this was a massive mistake. Or 2, CG does not care about their newer players. And that is my theory currently ongoing about this game and why it makes me happy. The reason it makes me happy is that if they do not care about new players, which is what all of their actions seem to be, they're advertising Jedi Luke, not available to newer players. They're advertising Thrawn, not really available to newer players. They're advertising Phoenix Squad, which sucks. They're not even really advertising them to begin with, but they're forcing it down your throat, and they still suck. Then you have all these flash events, which are going to dissuade anybody from playing the game if they have to be on 3 times during a workday. They're going to get fired, or they're going to have to take multiple bathroom breaks, and people are going to think they have IBS. Like, they're just retarded. In the whole system, they're not catering towards any new player. So, essentially, what this means and why it makes me happy is that they are doing nothing but trying to milk the current players in the game for every cent they are worth, because my theory is, based on all of their actions, their conversion rate of turning players that download this game, players that spend money, has been drastically going down. And my guess is because they don't realize how crappy they are handling this game. The only people that are still paying for this game are those that are pot stuck, essentially. They have invested so much in this game, they cannot leave. But here's the good part. Those people, like people in TI, that are in the Alliance, that are in BHG, that are in Dark Lords, and all the other major guilds, Order 66, whatever it is, that are spending a lot of money, this is that now they are more powerful than the devs. It's been a long-standing suspicion that the whales control the game. And I don't think free-to-play players really had much of an issue with that. It's just the way it was. If you spend money on this game, you deserve to have some input. But over this past week, I think they have shown that it's not just that they have an input, it's that they control the game. EA and CG have no idea what they're doing with this game. They don't know who to market to. And if they are marketing only to current players, they have basically said, okay, now this game is yours, tell us what to do. All you whales out there, the ones that are spending the money, Ranger, Grande, TI, Alliance, whoever is listening, if you are spending money in this game, you now control this game. You are more powerful than the devs. The devs have basically admitted to you that we do not care about new players. You are our source of funding. Tell us what to do. And from now on,
have you seen the Facebook advertising? Come play R2 now. You know, if someone opened up that game from Facebook, they wouldn't be able to get R2. Mm-hmm.
They don't know what to advertise. They're advertising to veteran players. They're not advertising to newer players. And the thing is, you can consider this a mistake, right? You can say maybe this was something that they overlooked. No, they have done way too many of these issues where they have catered just to the veteran players. All of their things that they're marketing, Jedi Luke, not available. Thrawn, you need all of Phoenix. When they were advertising R2, you only had a little bit of time if you're a newer player to get your rebels up in order to get him, or you had to wait. Everything that they have been marketing is crap because newer players are not going to be able to get it. They don't know how to market. They don't know how to cater to it, but I'm giving them credit for being smart. Their smartness probably comes into the fact that they're not having a good conversion rate of players that are downloading this game to spending money now. And the only money spenders are those that are already in the game. So those that are in the game now have power. It's not just an assumed power anymore. They have more or less admitted to you that you control the game. So from now on, if you want something in this game, I think we're in agreement, Grande and Ranger, we're going to start a new segment. What a whale wants.
Mm-hmm. I'm good with it.
And we will bring on whales. If you have spent a lot of money on this game, come on the show. Tell us what you want the devs to do.
Me, yeah, excluding me and Grande. You know.
Yeah. You guys do it all the time anyway. So if you guys want, come on the show.
We want another whale to come say what they want.
Yeah, and we will bring you on to tell everybody, including the devs who are probably listening but won't admit it, them to hear what you want. And if you don't get it, don't spend your money. You control this game now. There is nothing in this game worth buying. Nothing. If you saw the Thrawn release, Thrawn looks like he's maybe going to be a good raid character. He's not going to change Arena. Arena right now is so offensive. There's nothing that'll hold on defense. You have no reason to get Thrawn. Like, they don't understand the concept of the game. And to go to one of the theories out there that has to do with maybe EA cut down CG's time and that became the issue. Look at all the different resources they had available to them. I don't know how many of you have ever done presentations in your life, but if you have ever given a big presentation, you should know that you don't just walk in with a single thing. I have given presentations before.
Many
I have
times,
emailed it to myself. I have put it on a CD. I have done it on a USB. And in case all technology fails, I have index cards where I know how to talk. No excuse for what CG did. Look at all the different resources that they had. Video cuts that were put up. They used an old trailer and they used a new one that showed crappy Thrawn gameplay. They showed one scene. They showed cut scenes from probably what's going to be the legendary event. Could have had videos that showed him using his abilities. So we could actually see it rather than CG, I'm not really a Jedi, talking about it for 5 minutes. Or you could have somebody besides Cozy Spoon trying to feign interest in trying to promote the character and instead show video. You had game changers freaking at EA Play. Instead of sticking them in a room with a red light all next to each other so their audio was overlapping each other, using a Wi-Fi that was shared by 70 different people.
Putting them all in the same shard so they can't show it. They have to wait to do arena.
And having no other potential matches, sticking them in rank 50 and then they're attacking like a single cup. You failed. You could have had that stand. And so I know we're making fun of that little Connex mobile mini thing that was standing behind them. But guessing from that display, my guess is that that was open to people at EA Play to go onto those tablets and play Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes and try to get interest in the game. Why didn't you have the game changers behind you playing some of the different things in the game? You could have had Warrior playing ships. You could have had Ramon playing AAT. You could have had somebody else, a mobile gamer, playing Thrawn and actually showing some game content. You wasted so much opportunity that you had available there. Even if they cut down your time from 15 minutes to 5 minutes. 5 minutes talking about a character catered towards veteran players. You are either really bad at your jobs or you really don't care. There's no middle ground to it. And so if you are really bad at your jobs, then what we have is after we are done with this live stream, there's a video going up where we will be your liaisons if you want. I've seen it in the chat already, asking Ranger to be our communication liaison to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. We will do it. We even put our own commercial out there for you guys to show you what we would have done with characters
and
on
we're marketing majors.
It's not very hard. You choose not to care. The community now sees you don't care. And the only reason that we can see that's obvious that you do not care is because you are not getting money from the newer players, which is basically admitting that the whales now control this game. And to be honest, the reason I'm happy, I trust people in BHG, I trust people in TI, I trust people in Alliance, I trust people in Order 66, I trust people in Dark Lords, and all the other whales that have actually invested in this game, more confidence in them to control this game than I do the devs, and the devs have lost interest. The one thing you forget about a mobile game compared to other games, like Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2 is a game where you pay up front, and then you just kind of keep on rolling. It's an upfront fee, and you move on. The thing that separates mobile games apart from other games is that it builds a community. You know who has built the community? Warrior, Mobile Gamer, Ramon. We have to a smaller extent. We're not game changers, but we have Smithy D. We have Loki. We have all the game changers. We have people here, the people that actually care about voicing their opinions on the game and trying to make it successful. We have built the community. We have asked you to be a part of it, but instead you get the game changers to try to force your views on the rest of the community, and it sucks. We're not falling for the crap anymore. It's become obvious you have no power in this community. You have shown your hand over this past month, control it, and from now on, you have shown that your opinion is lies. Everything you put out about that bug fix is a lie. You said that it was going to get fixed, and instead you changed the content. You lied. You put up the promo about the events and the upcoming content being displayed, it was a lie. And then you wonder why somebody in the beta leaked the image? Because you promised something that you didn't keep. It's your own freaking fault. Learn to deal with it. Either get better at your jobs or move out of the way and let somebody else handle it while you guys do the important stuff like coding in the back. Code monkeys, do it. I've been a code monkey. I can deal with it. I know it's difficult. There's a lot of things that go into making sure something works. But if you don't know how to do the marketing aspect, don't try. You've been failing miserably at it for over a year and a half, and the only thing you have to show for it now is the fact that players play 162 minutes in a game for a game that they're now hating, and you're forcing more time on them with flash events. So good job. You're not making any money for all the time spent on players in the game.
Well said, Mr. Finn. Dr. Finn, Medicine Woman, take a bow. All right, I want to get a game changer in here, so it makes sense that we. Hey, Finn, some people are asking if they can. I think they're trying to send you messages that they want to voice their opinion. Look in Discord. Why we get Smithy involved in this? Yes, because I want a game changer viewpoint. And Smithy, you put out some videos. I mean, I give you mad props, brother. You were you. One thing I love about Smithy,
you're putting it on the line right there.
I mean, Smithy D is honest and open about how he feels, and he's invested as much time and energy. May not spend as much money as stupid me and Grande, but he has done a hell of a service for this community. So I think it's very important we get his opinion next, especially being a game changer. I think that's important too.
I don't know what to say to follow up from
Just share your thoughts,
your guys' presentations on it. I don't know where to start, just on the spot kind of thing. But I think, like, if we're going back to kind of like the kind of like mod issue, and it's kind of like what I can remember it, that there wasn't really much communication back then when. I can understand, and on the point of view, I can understand and appreciate that Phoenix characters maybe what you would need for Thrawn. That's fair enough. You know, I can't say that's not going to happen, but it's very kind of like close. It's kind of like a close time. It's where I'd always say it's kind of like rushed. You know, there was just like, what was wrong with having the event at the start of August, end of June? Why does it have to be so quick? Double drops. The event changed. I just don't know. Was it a last minute thing that things were just kind of like changed, and then it was? I don't know. There seems to be like, I can understand they're probably working on all this game mode, but it seems like everything gets put into this game mode, and everything else is just kind of left behind. Unless this game mode is super stellar, super awesome, and then I could be like, oh, okay, that's what they've been doing, and. They do, you know, for what maybe they have over there, you know, that they do a good job, and I'll definitely give them credit where it's due. But I think this last week, you know, EA played lack of communication, and this seems to be a habit. When something happens, there's lack of communication. There's nothing. We don't hear anything. It's just silence. And I wasn't expecting the new game mode to be presented at EA Play. I know a lot of people were. I wasn't expecting it because we don't know when. We just know it's been mentioned. I'd have liked it to be followed up from Star Wars Celebration. You know, even though it could have been mentioned, what we're working on. Because what do I have to look forward to for the next 6 months?
Right.
That there's a new game mode. But how good is the new game mode? You know, I'm wanting live PvP. That's what I'm wanting. I want a game mode where I can just play with my friends, you know, play with my guildmates, play with my allies. That's something that I personally want because it gives a replay value to the game. And I think a game like this is, if I understand that it has to make money. You know, we look at Battlefront. Why do they also do it? Why do they make games? Because it makes money, you know, and builds a community, and it's a job well done. If we have a look at Battlefront 1, I despised that game. I played it because it was Star Wars, but there was only so much I could play until I was just like, I can't play anymore because Call of Duty is so much better, you know, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare, that is, just for those guys out there.
Just pimping that, pimp that in.
Yeah, don't get me mixed up with those guys that like jumping walls and stuff. If I want to play that, I'll play Halo and Destiny and stuff. Not in my Call of Duty games. So back to once Call of Duty come out, it's same with Battlefield 1, you know. I played that. As soon as Modern Warfare come out, it was just like, Battlefield, what? And it was gone, you know. And I think going forward, the game, we need to bring the community. And I understand that, you know, they have been working really hard for new players. You know, there's a lot of stuff they've put, like, I know that some will say that it's catered now towards Wales. I think that it's been catered for the entire Christmas period and before that to a lot of new players, because if we have a look at the arenas wasn't like this last year. Mods didn't change that. Haven't changed it, because if we have a look, it's a Rex lead. You know, I think there's a lot of things that need to happen to keep the game going, and arenas, fair enough, a lot of people are working together, so that's going to be a hard cookie to crack to kind of get that into a competitive mode. And there's going to be now some people that are not going to want it to go there, because once it's like this now and they can win, and that's fair enough. Totally understand that. AI needs to be a little bit smarter, because I don't like how the AI works. I just think they're quite, you know, I just think it needs to be a little bit more tactical to how it works and stuff, especially for long-term players, newer players. You know, we shouldn't need to just invest into one Rex team and it just dominates everything, you know, and swap it out here and there and just go Rex, Rex, Rex. Definitely want the variety, and it's kind of lost it a little bit. We've had so many characters every month. You don't know which one to farm anymore, because, you know, Rex seems to be the king, and then we farm, and they're going free to play, and that's fair enough. I do like, and I really do love the concept, because if we look last year, that's definitely a huge improvement to the game, because if we have a look how long Rex was behind a paywall, you know, and he's become free to play, and now all these characters that are coming out are going free to play, they are being more accessible, and anyone that tells me that if you can get top 5 in the arena, you can start buying these shards each day, that's not an issue, you know. If you cut down a little bit on your refreshes and you really wanted to the characters, I did that with Nihilus, and I got him from the shard shop as well. I did that with Baze, you know, I got none of that from the kind of shard shop. I did it with Sharut as well. That's how I got that character. I got it from the main shipments. And how the game's grown, you know, it has grown, but I think the kind of like communication thing has always kind of like stayed the same. We do get weekly updates now, which if we remember back, we never actually got them at all. We never got them. But I think one thing that we don't want to do as a game to dislike the kind of like the content that we're getting. We need content, because this is why we come onto the game. We've got to look past, and I guess the logical point of view is depends on how game. If they see it as just a mobile game where you can just go in and they compare it to Clash of Clans, and that's a big mistake, because this game could be so much more. It's got the community here. It can definitely be an MMO, and it could be something, and it can be this new generation of game. And that is where I want to kind of leave the gauntlet, you know, because this is something going forward, you know, we definitely need to have more information, definitely need time. You know, there's definitely people that will buy the Phoenix characters, you know, they will do it if just kind of like ram straight out. You need Phoenix characters. The Thrawn event's next week, but we're not going to give you the details on Thrawn, and we get all the details from the game changes a few days afterwards, after the double drops kind of dropped. Tricky situation.
And they screwed the EU guys out of the double drops on the first day.
Oh yeah, I know that. I got screwed out of that. I was crying. It was only me, probably, because I refreshed straight away. Anyone that refreshed straight away lost it, pretty much. Anybody that was in time forward than me. That's probably Asia as well. They're probably same boat and stuff. Pre-warning. You know, guess what, guys? Got something exciting coming today. To those refreshers, and do that about 8 hours before. That's pretty cool, you know, because they're not telling you why it is, but they're giving you a heads up, and that's the community thing. That's how you gain, you know, that's how you keep trust. Yeah, that's it, because you're being open. It's not drastically going to affect any of your sales, you know. It's just kind of giving the heads up, you know, and I think that's a nice way of doing it. Or guess what, guys? Last chance to get Nihilus today. Pretty much, and just leave it at that. You know, that's going to build a buzz. You know, oh, Nihilus is going. What's coming next? You know, and that's what is what we got at the minute is what theory crafting. Everyone's theory crafting because we've got no content in game. You know, I can go in the game now. What can I do? Galactic War.
Fun.
You know, I'm hoping this game mode is next level, and it isn't this kind of like just something that's just another big grind. I just want something that's back to us as a players and bring the game into and kind of MMO style. You know, I think that's where this game should be going, especially with mobile games being bigger and bigger, and they're becoming the next kind of like generation thing. Get ahead of the generation and do something that other games don't do. You know, that's. But it's got to be honest with your community. You know, I can understand that if you join the game, then you're not going to have the characters for legendary events. That's going to be the kind of like grind, you know. And I can fully understand that. You can't any kind of faction you put. You know, even if you put Imperial Troopers, people ain't going to have Imperial Troopers. You know, unless you're a long-term player.
But Imperial Troopers have been farmable for a year and a half.
But they're garbage.
You know, people could have gotten them ahead of time.
Can I?
Yeah.
I want to use your idea,
Right.
Smithy.
Yeah.
Right? That they need to add something that's more fun in this game. Overall, I have to say I want to be really careful about something that's like live PvP, simply because that just makes it so you have to be in the game more. And depending on what the rewards are and how well it's worth it, I think this game is already at a point of oversaturation time-wise. It's going well beyond what you would expect of a mobile game.
But it'd be what I'd be proposing is a separate game mode. So it's nothing that's a live PvP with the arena. It'd be a versus mode. Pretty much.
This is going to be my honest suggestion based on what you are saying. So it sounds like there is, it might be a little bit of a strong word, but there's a hatred for the devs right now. And all that they're trying to do to what seems to be almost ruin the community. So here would be my suggestion. You do a live PvP, but all the devs get into a single guild, and you can challenge a dev to a PvP match. And in order to attack them, you do like a penny auction with crystals, where you have to do one crystal at a time and increase it until somebody wins and then gets to fight it. You basically pay for an attack against a dev, and they have set times. At 11 o'clock on Saturday, you can fight EA Jesse, but you have to bid for it ahead of time. And then at 12 o'clock, you fight Cozy Spoon, and you bid crystals for it.
Live PvP, and we make Jesse have to be on. It's like a Reddit asking.
That
anything.
is how you interact with the community.
EA Jesse has to be on for 24 hours on a Tuesday. So he gets to play everyone.
All right, and you imagine there'd be like Major League Gaming stuff as well, right? Yeah. And it opens up a whole new world, you know, where we're talking, like, if you have a look at some of the games that have got some versus stuff, and it's just, it'd be, you know, there'd be so much more, I think, would be so much engaged, and if they were dropping all these other events, that's just extra stuff. The real content is starting with something that's going to interact everybody in a guild, that they're going to get to play each other. You could then just challenge, if you wanted to, challenge Warrior or challenge me, you know, and just come up with some games. I'd be up for that. I'd play the game all night. I'd just sit there doing versus. Why? Because every single battle would be different. There ain't going to be no battle that's the same experience.
Yeah.
There's going to be some great stuff, you know, and that's what brings, and this is what this game does. It's got the characters, it's got the player base to restore faith going forward. You know, I don't think it takes lots. You know, I think it's just more. You know, I'm not asking for this amount, give everybody that amount. I think
I am.
It's something that, you know, just talk to us like friends, family. You know, that's
they don't. We're
really
just
takes.
a dollar sign, Smithy. That's the issue.
Oh my God! I know we got a bunch of people that have been real quiet for real long.
Yes, let's get them involved.
I just want to make sure that we get some. We get some of them on here. All right, virtual gaming world. But all the stuff you got four of us up here ranting for a real long time. How do you feel about that and your perspective?
Let's just say this. I have a history with EA. I have a personal grudge against EA, and I saw a lot of the things that happened before they even happened. So let me just give you a quick little backstory and run around to get to my actual point. I left the SWGOH YouTube for a reason. I predicted successfully that they were going to raise their prices for certain characters from the outrageous 300 to at least 50%, which is exactly what they did. I also predicted there was going to be a strike by players and that they were going to counter it with a whole bunch of packs, which is what they did. I also predicted that they're going to do something like flash events. You could get shards, unlock a character, but you cannot 7-star them unless you spend money. Now, the reason I was able to predict these is because I also have been a commissioner of League Gaming NFL. Now, we had this team play function in Madden 25. It was really cool. You chose a position on both offense and defense, and that's the only corps you can actually control. And it was really cool. They got rid of it the next year. Every single year, they said they were going to bring it back. They're finally bringing it back, but guess what? It's in Madden Ultimate Team. So you're going to have to buy players in order to be competitive if you want to be in the league. EA has this tendency to literally sit on previous accomplishments, all right? Let's not forget, EA did not, until this E3, bring out story mode for NBA Live. And NBA Live sales have been going down for years because 2K came around and said, oh, you've been ignoring the fans and all you've been doing is updating the graphics slightly and giving a few modifications of the roster. So we're going to come around and we're going to give you a story. We're going to give you My Park. We're going to give you this. We're going to give you that. EA is the type of company that waits until somebody else comes around after they lose their exclusive license, actually get off their high horse and do something. And I'm sorry, but this is the sad truth about EA. You're talking to someone who actually has direct access to people and the top of both PlayStation and Xbox. Let me rephrase that. All I have to do is talk to one person. Tristan. All right, he has direct access to the people who run Xbox and PlayStation, yet we have a hard enough time getting answers from EA. EA is old company. They've always been about let's get as much bang for the buck as we possibly can, and they do not change their ways and just ride off previous accomplishments. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I did not start playing this game because I saw EA. I also didn't start playing it because I saw Disney. Quite frankly, I don't like either companies. I've started playing this game because it's Star Wars. That's what I came for. That's what I care about. What I don't care about is the way that you have to spend so much money just to be competitive. I gave up on trying to be top 50 in Arena. I gave up on trying to do any of that. You know, I'm having a blast now. But I completely understand all the frustrations because in so many different game modes. They destroyed so many leagues on the premise that, oh, well, team play was not popular. Really? You had about 40 different leagues running. Each league had 32 teams for each NFL team. And each roster for each league had at least 9 players on it. You know, by my calculations, we're talking about, like 30, 40,000 people, and that's not including people who just do drop-ins. You just want to take our hard-earned money and sit on your laurels. So while I feel the frustration, I also know how EA works. They've been like this for years. They don't change their things until they lose their exclusive contract. The reason they're able to do what they do right now is because they have a contract with the people at Lucasfilm and Disney. If they didn't have this contract, they couldn't do what they're currently doing with us. There's a reason why EA is involved in every Star Wars game. Now, I give all the props to the Battlefront team. Don't get it twisted. I give all the props. They actually did something, and I thoroughly appreciate it. I'm waiting for it to come out in a few months or whatever it is and stuff. I would love to play that game. It looks amazing. I like the fact that they're doing the campaign and they actually listen to people.
Our clip of the week is Battlefront 2.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And this is the first time in a long time I've seen EA actually listen to its paying customers and do what was necessary to bring us back. Now, don't get it twisted. I am still in leagues. As anyone who's been seeing my channel, I've been posting things that say LGCHL. That's the Canadian Hockey League. It's run off an EA game. But there's a difference. This is an actual team setting, an actual league. I'm not playing it because it's EA. I'm playing it for the community, just like I play every other game. I don't play it a particular company. Now, single-player games, I might see one that I've never played before made by a company that I like. For example, Telltale Games. They made a really good Walking Dead series. And then I went out and got Game of Thrones, which I've never even watched. All right? So far, I'm liking that game. But that's a single-player game. When we're talking multiplayer games, we're not there for you. We're there for the community. And in order to keep us there, you have to listen to us. If you don't listen to us, we are eventually going to get fed up and leave. But EA's response every time is, oh, you want to leave. We're going to false advertise a little bit and try to get as much microtransactions as possible. I mean, how else can you explain the fact that when they reworked Grand Moff Tarkin, we all have them 7 stars because when ships came out, we were able to get our Grand Moff Tarkin, Admiral Akbar, and Mace Windu to 7 stars if you didn't have them. But we're going to charge you $20 for 80 shards of him, 350,000 credits, and 1 piece of each of these gears that are just normal gears. Power play. Their power play should be listening to us because we're the ones who are going to keep them alive. I'm not going to rant anymore, but that's literally my thoughts on EA and this whole situation. But I completely agree with you guys. But this is just how EA works.
Oh man! Yep. Hey, we had somebody somebody pop into chat here real quick.
Yeah,
and I wanted to make sure that our bestest buddy in the whole galaxy,
no.
Urban Blaster Assassin.
Oh my God!
You there, buddy?
What's up, dudes? It's your bestest buddy in the whole freaking galaxy.
He's back! Oh my God!
What's up, brother?
I know it's been a while. I've been busy. Kind of things are getting a little hectic on the dark side of Uranus, so I haven't been able to keep up with stuff.
I was thinking you got food poisoning from all that crap you were eating.
You've been messing. Don't tell me you've been messing with some Klingons, bro, on the backside of Uranus.
Oh. May the catapult be with you.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh man. How do you feel about the state of the game, bro? How do you feel about
we haven't had you on forever.
Been going on here.
Turd.
I don't know. I think I'm just kind of catching up to the whales on character, so I'm happy. But I've been kind of disconnected a little bit with where the game's going and all that. I'm just doing my daily grind, trying to get my bays and chase to just trying to get to the top 20 in PvP. But in my thoughts on the whole Thrawn thing was I figured it was sort of I didn't know the dudes who spend a lot of money on this game are mad about it, because I thought it was more to benefit them, because then the free-to-play players, because it seems like the characters that we get now, like I got Baze and Chirrut, they could be at 5 stars, get you in a decent arena level. So I thought maybe they came out with Thrawn to kind of level out that stuff, so that there'd be a character that the people who only pay money could get, and maybe it'd be a powerful dude to kind of separate the pay-to-play from the free-to-play. But that was just my initial thoughts on it. I haven't really looked into it like you guys.
Well, so this whole thing actually screwed over money on it. So the sequence was that they put the Phoenix into chromiums, and they actually changed the cadence of when these Phoenix characters were going to become free-to-play. They actually pushed it up. So whales may have spent money on Phoenix early, thinking it's going to be another 4 weeks or so before they become free-to-play, and instead they came out like a week later and actually screwed over all of the whales that spent money on the Phoenix.
Another thing, didn't they just start this whole cadence thing?
Yeah, now they started it like a month ago, but they said that they had a reason for this and didn't give us it.
And then they said they have a reason for the cadence change, but they don't change. But they don't tell you what the reason is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's that. I mean, there were some dudes that were pushing pretty hard for Ezra and Sabine because, like, they could actually work on some teams, and then now they become free to play, and those guys are like, great. Now everybody has the character I was working hard on.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that timeline. It just seems like a blur.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of a sudden you get these new characters, then there's a flurry of new characters, then all of a sudden they kind of slow down, and then all of a sudden those guys were in available and double drops and all that. So I didn't really follow the timeline, so that's good to know about that.
I don't know, man. I mean, I know they have to strike a balance between free to play and pay to play. It just I just need them to say what they're going to do and then do what they say. I mean,
that would be helpful.
Is that so hard?
I don't think that's a hard ask. I don't think that's a hard ask.
Yeah. Just something else we didn't mention, by the way. It made Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes look worse. I don't know if you guys caught this. In Battlefront 2, they promoted two characters, Finn and Phasma, as being free for all characters for all players that downloaded the game. And then they went to Thrawn and Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, who you have to pay like $700 within 2 weeks in order to get.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
That was the contrast of back-to-back presentations. Battlefront went, oh, we heard you, so we're giving you free characters. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes went, we heard you, we don't care, give us $700.
Yeah, if you pay me. Loki.
Yeah, Loki actually went to EA Play, right? And got a vault.
I did go to EA Play and I got some prizes, yes.
Did you get the 16,000?
I wasn't expecting it. It was a pleasant surprise, but I think a step in the right direction is they should give everybody that watched the stream and stayed up the vault and the 15 shards of Sabine, so we wouldn't be here, talking shit. But it is what it is. I agree with what the whole panel's saying. I don't know what else I could add to the conversation. I can give you my point of view.
Give your point of view.
No, I mean, everything. I can give you my.
Well, you actually had EA Play, so I think that's important, and then you do kind of give us a different perspective. So definitely, we want to hear it.
Yeah, well, not because I was at EA Play, but I mean, my perspective is the pay to play player. So, everybody else on the panel mentioned, Aston Master himself mentioned it. So as a pay to play player, I obviously want to pay for the content because I don't have the time and I don't want to go through the hassle of the grind, right? Mm-hmm. That's my mentality. It's not a good mentality, but it's mine. But anyway, what got me upset, and this is going back to Baze, right? Is the tournament, and I was actually pretty happy because now I can unload my whole roster and I have a chance to go get Ty Advanced and Jin and Chirrut and Cassian, and never did Cassian's viewing like they wanted to, but I looked forward to stuff like that, and then a lot of people complained and they took it away from us. So, and us meaning the pay to play. I mean, that was an advantage for us because now we could use our whole roster and go after and actually get free characters, right? I was stoked about that. They took it away, that's fine. But then going to the character cadence is, they released Baze and the Chromiums. Okay, I bought some Chromiums. I got him to like 5-star or whatever in the beginning. And then all of a sudden he shows up shop a week later. And I'm like, what happened to the character cadence, right? They did the same thing with Nihilus. So I bought in the Nihilus. Oh, cool. I got him at 7-star, right? 2 weeks later, he's in the shard shop now, right? And now he's like free to play, right after. So, from the pay to play perspective, and then going into the Phoenix, I mean, at all. I'm like Grande. I bought the $10 packs, and that was about it. I figure, hey, I'll give you $10. I've been playing the game, and that was about it. But if I invested in those guys and they all went free to play, I'd be pretty pissed off too. The way Arena is now, it pains me as a pay to play player. And again, I'm just telling it to you from my perspective. I don't like seeing 3-star characters in the top 10. That's just,
interesting.
Whether you want to agree with me or not, to see a 3-star Chirrut or 3-star Baze beating my 7-star guys, off, because why did I pay to get him 7-star other than the raid, right?
If you pay $700, you should be an awesome, amazing player in this game.
Well, I mean, there's, it's not even that. There should be a big difference between 3-star and 7-star, and there isn't, right? I mean, as of recently, there isn't. And everybody's proven that. And there's videos on YouTube, and Smithy D's got a lot of great videos, and that's perfectly fine. For free to play, I'm totally for it. But at the same note, I think CG, they got to take care of the pay to play guys too. And it's like, why am I paying for exclusive content for like 5 days, right? Going back to what they've mentioned, do they care about the pay to play player? I don't even think so. So, building on what Finn mentioned is, I don't know who they care for other than themselves, because they don't want to attract the new players. They don't want to take care of free to play, or maybe they are now because they're releasing a bunch of free to play characters, but they're definitely not taking care of the pay to play. That's my rant on that whole thing. I might join you on your new show, for your pay to play. What do I want in the game? So I'd love to
what a whale
a little more. But
what a whale wants.
What a whale wants. What a whale needs.
Intro song.
That is,
you've heard it here first,
right there. Yep.
Now, who's gonna sing it?
Oh, it's got to be Ranger, right? It's got to be Ranger singing.
That right there is the intro song. You heard it. We will use that clip.
What have I done?
So going back to, so going back to Thrawn, right? I'm not going to get into it a lot, but in the beginning, they always said, "Hey, a fan favorite character's coming," and historically, it was the raids, right? So I think the fan favorite, the first one was Han Solo, right? So they're like, okay, and then we're going to do some Rancor raid. Okay, cool, man. This thing looks pretty awesome. It shakes up the community. Mm-hmm. Everybody's shifting guilds. Everybody's cracking down and getting crazy. And when we first all went into phase 1, and I'm doing tier 6, at the time, and oh man, this Ewok team was kicking ass, right? In the first one, right? Then we go to heroic, and we're like, oh crap, we can't re-enter, and we're all screwed, right? So forced us to build up our roster, right?
That's fine.
And
I have
cool,
no issue with that.
I'll spend money. Damn, I got a goal. I want to get Han Solo. Okay. Then people started unlocking Han Solo. I think there was the guild in China that did it first. Whatever, it's a controversy. They unlock him, and then it's like, oh man, he's not that great, right? So now, now everybody's kind of like, okay, fine, let's just continue doing the raid. Then the next fan favorite, he's coming. He was a fan favorite in the Clone Wars, whatever, and bam, we come out with this tank raid. All right, cool. And I'm kind of upset that they went away from that format, because they released R2, and it's like, okay, he's a fan favorite, but it's like, you're gonna get him the legendary way. Okay, cool. Everybody gets him. That's fine. And then they do the same thing with Thrawn, but it's like, I'm totally missing out. I mean, we're all missing out on the.
You could have had a whole nother raid for Thrawn. We could have. How long has it been now? Since October?
Been a long time.
We could have had. In the first 8 months of the game, we get 2 raids. In the second 8 months of the game, we get 0.
But even as a legendary event, Loki, like if they didn't change the cadence, right? Phoenix would have been released at the end of this month. Do you think anybody, without knowing that a Thrawn event was coming in July, do you think any free-to-play player would have really farmed Phoenix?
No.
And then they could have released Thrawn in July, and free-to-play would still have the advantage, like you're saying. And free-to-play would be screwed because they didn't farm it, but they can't blame CG for not giving us enough time.
Correct, yeah.
Someone check their mic. They're getting feedback.
Oh.
Oh yeah, you're feedback. Yeah, that's okay. but no, I mean, let's take a step back to Rogue One. I mean, the way they did Rogue One, I think, was actually pretty good, right? But it involved the tournaments, if I'm not mistaken, right? Mm-hmm. So to be able to get Jin, you had to do this tournament, right? And even if you placed at the bottom of the tournament or whatever, you could get at least shards of her, right? And you didn't have to invest and all that. So was it the whole cheating thing that killed the tournament? I don't think so. I actually think they kind of blew that up, and maybe the cheating thing was the scapegoat because they were figuring out, we weren't making money. So I just feel bad as a player, and actually a part of this community is we're kind of like the we're kind of like the guinea pigs, right? They keep testing out these events that somebody comes up with in a board meeting, and they're like, here's the way now we're going to do it. It's flash events, right? It's kind of what Virtual Gaming World said, is they have all these, they're trying out all this different stuff. They're not making money on raids anymore, right? Because everybody figured them out. We have a strong community that has strategies and everything. And my gripe with like going back to tournaments is the reason why they didn't want the tournaments is they didn't want us to talk to one another. I really believe that. And the reason I say that is because guildmates through these tournaments, I changed my name to my line ID and everybody started messaging me, right? It was fun. But I have this feeling they just don't want us to communicate like what we do. But they've kind of lost it, I think, already, and they're trying to find these new game modes where they can make money and still keep us, coming back. But kind of like what you said, Finn, I mean, as a whale right now, I mean, as a pay-to-play, I got my Phoenix up because I have all this saved up store currency and I did what I could, but, I didn't buy the pack and I didn't do what I normally do if this was like a raid, right? I would prepare myself in my roster and all that, but stuff that I do want to see, I'd love it if they just switched up our arena. I mean, I've been fighting the same guys for 2 years, and I love them already, and what I'm thinking is like an easy fix. If you want to, involve my whole roster, is change the days of what I can use as a faction in a raid, right? So like on Monday, I can only use support characters. And then on Tuesday, I can only use Night Sisters. And then on Thursday, I can only use this, right? That'd be one quick, easy way. And it would kind of keep it fun because I'm with Smithy on this. Everybody's got Rex. Everybody's got the same team. I got one guy on my shard. He's got 3-star Trude and Baze and a 6-star Rex. They're all gear 11, and he's taking first. And I'm like, come on.
That was
right?
me.
I mean,
damn you, Finn, and your cheap ass ways.
No, I was telling Ranger the same thing. Like, I was 10,000, 12,000 power below the top people, but I was able to get first with my understarred Chirrut and Baze just because of the way the arena works.
Right. So, I mean, if they want to switch it up, but you can't, I mean, again, Thrawn's not going to change anything. There's still going to be Rex leads. It's going to be the same thing, right? But the way you shake up arena, I think an easy way to do it is do something. I mean, we all try to do it now with the Rancor raid, right? Like, my guild does, and Grande, you mentioned this, like your guild, you do like Night Sisters only, one raid, right?
Yep,
just for fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not the ultimate fix, but I mean, it's like, you want to utilize the roster. You want people to build up characters for arena. That's why multiple times the arena is the payday. So you have to have a good arena team. So, I mean, if you're going to be missing out first place on Thursday because you don't have good support characters to throw in your arena team, then you're you got to build up. You got to give people a reason to build up, and they're not giving us a reason right now.
Yeah,
is what I'm trying to say. Is
really
because
like
I can go 3-star. I can get a bunch of 3-star characters and get first in arena against all the whales.
And get carried in raids by another guild, right? Because they're like, man, you do your 600 every day. Oh man, we'll take you and carry you, and you can get GK in 60 to 90 days.
Yeah, and you got one 7-star character, so you can do 0 damage in the raid. You're good.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
If I can add to this real quick, another way they can actually build the characters.
I don't know.
Is I don't know where I saw this, but I thought it was a good idea, and I thought I'd bring it up and stuff. I don't know if it was on Smithy's video. I saw it on one of the SWGOH YouTubers' videos, but someone commented, what if they did a flash event? Flash event, just an event that happens within like a 48-hour window or something. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't leave. And for example, it'll be like an Order 66 event. But what you do is instead of doing, all right, so it's clones, you have to take down the Jedi, you do it almost like a story. So it starts off, episode 1 moves into episode 2, you know what I mean? So each event kind of builds up. Now, because it's going in a story, you know what's coming next, so you know what you have to work on, which then makes you want to work on your characters.
One all the way through, right? And
exactly,
and literally take every and make it a thing. Yeah.
And then, and you don't have to do it in just events like that. Like, for example, you could do a ship raid comes up and you got to take down General Grievous and the Separatists or something like that. You know what I mean? Make it interesting. Bring out some actual content like that. And the whales are going to start spending money again. Free to play is going to have fun because they're going to know what's coming next, basically, and they're going to know what they need to work on. Your whole roster is going to get better. If they come out with a new kind of heroic raid that's permanently there, besides Rancor raid and Tank Takedown, that next raid that comes out, because you're doing this, now everybody has a stacked roster, and they can figure out what best works for them.
Interesting idea.
Yeah. I don't know. We've talked about a bunch of stuff. I know we've gone on for a long time. I know we have some more stuff we want to talk about, but I think anything else that you wanted to rant on, or do we even want to even look at our agenda?
I mean,
well, I think we have a Slim Shadow over here.
What's that?
I hate Phoenix.
Oh, we got Eric in here, so we'll go with Eric, then we'll close the stream. But we're not stopping the discussion. We're going to have a huge discussion in the Discord tonight, by far. But there's a lot more stuff we need to cover, but it's better done there. So, Mr. Eric, yes,
I agree. Yay!
What's going on, man?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
Yeah. So, I kind of have some experience from these pay-to-win games from about 10 years ago, and what I'm seeing is that this game is absolutely missing a game balance manager that knows what they're doing as far as a economy. Understanding how an economy works, where you've got whales, you've got the tadpoles, you got the middle of the road players, and it seems like they have gone off the rails. They don't know what they're doing. And that's kind of from a semi-free-to-play character kind of noob. That's what I see, and that's it.
Interesting point.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I know we're going to talk about some. We're going to talk about some quote unquote content and some quote unquote photos on our Discord. And so, if you would like to talk about some content that's quote unquote, Ranger, do air quotes for me.
There we go. Content.
Yeah, if you would like to talk about that, please follow us to our Discord. So that we can explain and have some more conversation about it.
Discuss.
Oh, before you close that, what could be like a really good fix at the minute? Like I was just thinking about it. I've said it before and stuff, but what like everyone says that they want raids and stuff like that, but do you really want to be running 3 raids per week? Just like running it. No. Why don't they add difficulty tiers? So, like, add insane. Like where it's a lot harder, where people just can't solo it. As an extra
what they need to do is they can add another raid, but they have to tier them. Like as a newer player in your guild, you can start off with the Rancor raid.
Tiers, freaking 7 tiers, man. Or where's my ship's PvE content?
I mean, we haven't even talked about the disaster that is ships. I mean, we're not even going to get into that. We'll get into that Discord. I mean,
we'll get into it in Discord. But I mean, it's just we're all coming up with these great ideas, and I get it. We're all full of ideas, and none of us are actually having to code or program. But geez, man, you've had 8 months. What have you been doing?
Well, that's where
absolutely.
But that's where it starts from is an idea. That's where it begins, an idea, and then you say, "How do we do this?" And then you set up a plan for execution, and then you do it. Simple.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
Let's do that. We've always done something on our streams and on our videos where we might criticize, but we always give ideas too. We're not just going to constantly complain. We give ideas.
You've been doing that, Finn. You've been putting that stuff out there.
Let's do that now. Let's just go around the horn as we come to an end, and everyone just give an idea about something that they think could be done in this game. Could be a whole new mode, can be a raid, can be whatever it is that you want. Something that you think will help the game.
Okay, so let's do it. So
then we can.
So let's start with Urban Blaster. What do you think that the devs could do at this moment right now that would help the game and make people more content?
That's a tough question. My biggest thing is the gear crunch. I freaking hate that. I don't know, and even with the prizes on, like, because I'm like Infinity's seed. I missed the whole Phoenix event because I was busy at work all day. Didn't really get to do it, but then I hear people complaining that and even the rewards just aren't really all that on some of that stuff. And I mean, they've improved mods with the 100% mod rate, but it's just that whole gear crunch that gets me.
Yeah. So do something to fix the gear. Eric, what do you think? What could they do right now to make a change, to make a positive change for the community?
As a newer like semi free to play character, I would say they need to fire their current community manager. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna throw it out there. They need to figure out how to balance this economy properly for the whales and for the tadpoles.
Gotcha. Okay, Sir Loki, what do you think? Something they could do right now that would help all players?
Well, I think they need to have better communication internally, and what I mean by that is whoever wrote the event, and Grande, you and I talked about this, right, in Discord, Ash event thing, right, the bonus tier. Whoever wrote that and communicated it the way they did to EA Jesse or whoever, they need to have better communication, because obviously if they, the whole thing about them saying they identified it as a bug, you and I had a discussion, and I went back and actually, I saw the requirements, right? You can bring up requirements, and Chopper is there in the requirements, right? So, okay, cool. So I can use Chopper. Well, you can't, right? We all know this now. So there's obviously a communication breakdown internally there. So whether it's with a dev, with the official forum.
You're the second person. You're the second person, really smart person to say to be astute, and I think come up with a great observation there about the breakdown.
Well, that's actually, when you and I were talking, we were kind of just talking casually, and I go, oh, it was just a typo. And you're like, no, it wasn't. And I go, okay, let me go back to it. And actually, I went back to it, and I hit the requirement tab, and sure as shit, Chopper's right there in the middle, right? He's at
what
the
is
bottom.
Chopper doing there? Why is there an event Chopper on there?
He's in the requirements from your roster, but then there's an event Chopper, right? Where was
why is he there?
Where was the communication breakdown? I mean, is it the dev with the community manager on the forum who's, I don't even know who it is. Is it EA Jesse? Is it, who the hell is it, right? And to be better communication there,
So you think from the beginning it's been this,
I don't know. You've had people change jobs in the last couple of weeks, over the last year. It's possible that they all just need to go to a team building communication exercise boot camp.
Because from the beginning, it's probably been that you've needed to be in, and that isn't a bug, right? Because why else would you have an event Chopper if you need to take 5 characters in? You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it is a bug, and we're updating the description. Maybe that it wasn't actually a bug; it was actually just a communication between the event guy and the guy that puts the requirements or whatever.
Right. I mean, there's a big discrepancy between a bug and a typo, right? So, their conclusion now on the forum was it was a typo. We're sorry, guys. Here's the fix, and it's like, well, you didn't fix the bug though. You said there was a bug, but you didn't fix the bug. You just said it was a typo now, right? So anyway, I think communication right there would be one. And then I'm actually going to throw out a second one. No, I forgot it. I lost my train of thought.
We'll come back to it. All right.
Thank you.
We'll come back. Okay, Smithy D. So Smithy D, what do you think they can do right now to make it right with all the players, pay to play and free to play?
A big question. I guess stop rushing. Yeah, for what? You know, the game's, you know, this game I hope to see it to last for like another 5-10 years or something. Who knows? You know, there is no rush to put out these characters and fill it with characters. You know, we as a community want content. We want to play the game as much as possible. Content. Okay, I might be going out on a leg about how difficult would it be to add a difficulty tier. I can understand it's probably going to take some work, okay, to add another difficulty to the Rancor. You know, like, for those guilds that are now surpassing it, you know, add another difficulty tier. Allow them to play a harder mode. You know, there's lots of guilds now that do it in themed hits and stuff like that, you know, where you have to use a certain squad and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, add stuff. Fix stuff that's currently already broken. Fix Savage. Fix the raid ticket counter. And I can understand that this new game mode needs, you know, the attention and stuff like that. But when will it ever end? You know, once they finish the game mode, they're going to have to work onto the next project. See, maybe that we need more developers that fix the current issues. I know they've done a lot of bug fixes. So don't get me wrong. They've done a ton of stuff, you know, in the game, you know, so I can never kind of like criticize that because they did a whole load of bug fixes, but there was still a lot missing out, you know, like the raid ticket counter, which is important, by the way, for anybody that's raiding, you know, that has to look on lifetime, you know, and the Savage has been broken since its rework.
Smithy, would you say that they just need someone strong at the helm to finally figure out where they're going?
I don't even know who's in charge anymore. I mean, I don't even know people's jobs.
That's what I want to know.
Team SWGOH Alliance, that's who's in charge.
Yeah, well,
sometimes with companies, and this is the problem, is when you have a company that is in partnership with another company, like, transparency gets lost between the two. If you can imagine, sometimes what happens is, if you're selling a product, okay, and you're an executive, a good executive would test the product, play the product, you know what the product is, to then know what funding, what staff it needs. If that doesn't happen, you know, where someone's not fully testing it, someone's not playing it, you know, why does games work so well when they're created by gamers? Because they're gamers that create for games, you know? When you take that away, and, you know, between companies, we're not just talking about what we got here. There's loads and loads of different games out there that fall into that same pit where the developers, the managers don't play the game, so they don't fully understand the game. You know, and it's kind of like me, you know, someone gave me something, and say if I worked for a soap company, but I've got no interest in soap at all. I don't use the product. How am I going to know what that soap does? You know what I mean? If that soap could, like, just, like, do everything, you know, like, and wash clothes and get all the stains out, I ain't going to know. I'm just going to read off the script. And it's the same as a mechanic, isn't it? You know, you go in and you don't know nothing about cars, but you're trying to then work in a service station and tell somebody, oh, you're left, like, axles cracked and all this stuff. And then someone asks you a question. You ain't got a clue. You got to run out back to the mechanic, ask what they mean, but you're still not going to know what it is. And I think sometimes that's the problem with companies, is they don't sometimes know their own product. Well, and that's when sometimes you could lose your community. And I'm not just talking about this game. You have to play the game, be interested in the game, because that's sometimes the big thing is how you win a community over is completely understanding it. You know, understanding the game.
They don't. Yeah, you make a great point, Smithy. They don't understand your perspective. That's interesting.
No, they don't understand the players, and that's why
that's the problem.
They're completely screwed. I mean, their current community manager has no idea what we're talking about right now. None. She's not locked into this at all.
Yeah, I don't get it either. Hey, Virtual World Gaming, what do you think they can do
quickly
to fix the game?
All right, you want quick? Here's quick. All right. In all honesty, fire the entire team. Hire a couple people off of Star Wars Battlefront 2. If they put 5% of the effort into the game that they did, we will have a better game.
Yes.
I can't argue.
God.
That is my answer.
You're fired.
I love you. I love you. You are perfect.
God.
Oh my God.
Was that short enough?
That was great, short. Okay, I'm going to tell you, more communication, more openness, and give us a new freaking full game mode, similar to Arena, similar to Ships, similar to PvE Light Side, Dark Side. Do it now.
Mm-hmm.
Do it now.
Ranger, quickly.
Nothing. I'm too angry.
Okay, he's too angry. Okay, sounds good. I know we got a couple people in
You
here.
guys already covered some of the ones I wanted.
Yep.
So okay, so
one
let's
out there really quick to add in here.
Yes, go.
Let me throw one really quick out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna suggest a whole new type of game mode. It'll also favor the whale. So it's going to be called a hero mode. Essentially, you create your own character that represents you. You can be a Sith, you can be a Jedi, you can be a Night Sister, you can be a Tusken, whatever the hell you want. Each one comes with base stats. Every day, you can use each different faction in order to raise a certain stat. So every day you can attack once with Jedi to increase their health. You can attack once with Rebels in order to increase their speed. You can attack Night Sisters to increase their potency. If you have all the different characters, you can raise all of their stats. And you do that every day. You keep on raising it. That will always fill up your 6th slot. In Arena, in Galactic War, it's no longer going to require somebody else's ally. You also can grab them personally. So I can grab Grande as a Sith. I can grab Ranger as a Jedi, whatever the hell it is.
How dare you,
But now
sir?
you have a hero mode.
Grande would be a Night Sister.
Every time.
Only on Tuesday nights.
So it would be your own
At
hero
9
mode.
Central.
You could customize your abilities. You could have a selection of basic abilities you can pick from. You can have a selection of specials, uniques. You can do a leader ability, whatever the hell it is. But you can customize yourself and use your characters in your collection already. We don't need more characters, but use your own characters in order to boost up your own character.
I like it.
That would be my suggestion.
All right. Let's end this shit and then get going into the other stuff we need to talk about. But we're going to do that in Discord. If you don't know where the Discord is, if you're not in the Discord, it's linked below in the description below of this video. You can come join us. We will be in voice chat, so you will need a headset and microphone, and you will be able to just click voice chat. It'll ask you to connect, and then you connect. You set up your stuff, and you'll be good to go. No, I will not be as Ugnaught. I saw that, Vlad. How dare you, sir? Jedi was worse, but Ugnaught's no. How dare you?
On to the Discord.
All right, so we're going to pimp everybody's stuff real quick. Thanks, everybody, for participating. We had over 100 people just in chat. We still have over 100 people in chat. I haven't looked at what the last number is, but that's phenomenal. We appreciate all your support. Thank you, everybody, for donating. I think VG gets the top pick for donating some more money. We really appreciate it. That helps us put up more content. And if you like what you hear, subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Do all that stuff, to help support the channel, and you will get updates on when the newest content's coming up. And if you donate $20, then you get to join our VIP section where you see stuff early and you have great access to us, all of us, and that's the cool thing. Yeah, all that stuff's on the screen. You can see that. We're going to be going to Discord. All right, real quickly, everybody, we're going to go around. Assassin Master, pimp your stuff.
Just go out to YouTube. /Assassin Masters. Occasionally I'll throw a video out there.
How dare you?
I've been a little bit busy in the real life, so I haven't been able to get as much content out there, but I'm figuring it out and trying to get back on it. But I at least put out a video usually once a week or once every month or something. But check it out.
That's right. Urban's the best, and representing the furnaces. All right, Loki, pimp your stuff.
You can check out my YouTube channel. It's Sir Loki, SIRLOKI, and actually haven't been putting out a lot of the Galaxy Heroes videos. So I've been busy doing my lightsaber builds, so I put a couple of them up, and
they're
you should
amazing.
check them out.
They're so good.
And thank you for having me on, and I'll be on the Discord if you want to theorycraft about the Thrawn event, because I will be doing the Thrawn event, unfortunately, and I built up my guys. So
shit. VGW, pimp your stuff.
Well, you can find me on YouTube at Virtual Gaming World. I do some SWGOH with Mike's channel. I also do competitive league gaming. I'm a goalie this year, and I do a lot of Final Fantasy, Sword Art Online, and story-based driven games.
Very nice. Smithy D, pimp your stuff.
You can find me out on YouTube, Smithy D. Thank you very much.
You always do that. You're such a dick.
Everyone knows Smithy
That was like
D.
I'm a Smithy D and I'm
if you don't know who Smithy D is, you've been under a rock for like 18 months.
Yeah. Is that everybody? Eric, anything you want to pimp?
No, man, I got nothing.
One other thing, Ranger.
He said he figures if you let me on, you'll let anyone on.
Yeah.
One other thing, though, Ranger. So,
yep, head into Discord. So thanks for everybody for.
One other thing, Ranger. Wait.
Okay,
so
go.
We were talking about firing the community manager. Reality Skewed Gamers is ready to take that mantle. We just put up a new video for the Reality Skewed Gamers Communication Liaison Services, so check that out.
Yeah,
check out the video.
It's gonna be sick, guys. It's gonna be awesome.
Yes, it's got a surprise guest. It's amazing. All right, so everybody, let's jump in the Discord. We got some more shit to talk about. So the night has just begun. So we'll be joining you shortly. So if you're not there, get there now, and we'll be joining you shortly. I need to get something to eat and use the bathroom. I'm sure these guys eat too. So we'll be there soon enough. So thank you everybody for being here. Again, we appreciate all your support. You guys are amazing, and we'll check you on the flip side. Thanks. Bye-bye.